A command center with a cyber core yesterday, which has got to be one of the silliest things I've ever seen in pro PvT. We're going to see what happens in this best of 5 series and who will progress to the top 8 of the tournament. In the bottom right side of the map, representing Dragon Kaisi Gaming, a Protoss player with a lot of fans out there. Everybody, let's make some noise for herO!
And spawning in the top left on Golden Ore, one of the fan favorites, one of the best foreign players in the world representing Team Liquid, it is Clem.
Clem is an unstoppable force in a standard game. You let him have his bio and his Vikings just on the edge, just outside of your shield battery range, and those Vikings, they will get volleys off on your Colossus. His bio will dodge storms, they will dodge disruptor shots, and he will dance around the map. When he gets that slight Terran edge on you, where he's like on the edge of pushing but not really committing, anytime a Zealot charges in, it gets shot down without doing anything. You know, any little disruptor that's exposed a bit, it gets focused down. But for herO, of course, he very rarely sits there defensively letting Clem be the aggressor and do that. We see herO as a player who loves to get out of the map, be in his opponent's face, prisms in the backdoor, blink stalkers all over the shop. And of course, he is a big fan of those 2-base storm drop openings where you can just pounce on the Terran, drop storms, charge lots like drive in. It's such a dangerous style and something Clem's got to be wary of.
And man, look at the stat on screen right now. Clem actually only surpassed by serO in TVP, or not in TVP, when it would be remarkable if serO was surpassing Clem in that. But versus Protoss, 72% to the 73% of serO. I mean, Clem is a guy that quietly has just been getting better and evolving over the past couple of years. As you said, we've seen him grow into one of the best players of all time in StarCraft II's history. He's a phenom of StarCraft II, and in a matchup TVP that for a long time was dominated by players like Maru, by players like Pure, where historically foreign Terrans struggled a little bit. In this matchup, Clem is breathing new life into the game, and as you said, in a straight-up macro game, he's one of the hardest players to beat, but not just that made ARIA control, it's also the Widowmine drops, it's double medevac drops, it's all the harassment that he's able to do. I mean, Clem is one of the fastest players alive, and I think we're going to see that demonstrated here today against herO, one of the best Protoss players when it comes to multitasking and control as well.
So far, the Reaper's been blocked. That Stargate opening has been disguised very well by herO, with the early Stalker pushing the Reaper back. Reaper's still scooting around, seeing if it can find its way in, but with the Adept on the ledge, there will not be a scout of the Phoenix opening. You know, you were mentioning, hey, Clem's become so powerful, but it's so funny for me. I always think of like 3 years ago, 2021, online circuit. There were so many hopes for Clem to suddenly become a world champion. And I remember it was guys like Zest who would always catch him out. It was a few of these Korean Protoss players who mix in those timing attacks and those aggressive plays. They would always catch him off guard. And I think, you know, everybody knows that herO is a player that absolutely, if he can get Clem's number and kind of predict what he's going to do, herO could cause big problems. So these opening build orders very important. The fact that he's hidden the Phoenix opening is really good, because if Clem commits across the map with an early drop, that can get punished so hard by Phoenix.
Yeah, luckily for Clem, this is one of the drops that is the hardest to punish with Phoenix. It's going to be 6 Marines and a Widowmine, so there is potential here for Clem to still get something done as he knocks on the front door with this Hellion, with this Reaper. We have to see exactly how herO's control is going to play it out, because I believe there should be 3 Phoenix on the map when this drop reaches the main base. Is that going to be enough? Is there going to be the gateway support or potentially a battery to defend as the drop is commencing now in the main base? herO spots it, battery not yet done. Phoenix, they're trying to get their damage done. They're lifting up a Marine, but you have to focus fire, you have to target. Widowmine gets lifted as well. Phoenix taking a lot of damage, but the control for herO is good.
Ooh, Hellion Reaper runs into the natural. They're going to start picking off 1 or 2 probes here. The shield battery is getting a bit of intermittent healing, though. Only 3 probes going down, and that is a fantastic cleanup. 4 probes, it's damage, but I really feel like the moment you see Phoenix, the best case scenario is you get out and you save your units, which Clem did not manage to do with anything. So much stuff went down, and now the Phoenix have complete map control. That Raven, an easy pick-off if it gets caught in the open. There's almost nothing that shoots up for Clem.
Yeah, a lesser Protoss player wouldn't have been as quick focus firing on the Marines with the Phoenix as herO was, or getting the Widowmine just in the nick of time, or pulling that low HP Phoenix back. But herO, I mean, among all the players in the world, I think is one of the best in terms of control and getting all the value out of his units possible. absolutely excelling in that defense, and now he's right on the doorstep of Clem with these Phoenix, trying to find more damage. A Cyclone is out, and that will dampen the aggressive potential a little bit here for Protoss. herO scouting that, both with the Phoenix and then confirming the position again with the Adept.
hero's hitting the probes really well, though. I like the way he's like applying pressure, but not overcommitting. This is the hero you really want to see against a guy like Clem. Like not getting too over-eager to counterattack. We've all seen the 3 Adepts just dive into the Cyclone and kind of get overwhelmed, but this seems very calculated and controlled.
Yeah, it's very good patient play here for herO, and Phoenix honestly is a style that we don't see him play too much on the Korean circuit. He's much more of a Blink Stalker Robo guy, usually a delayed Robo, and for a long while it seemed like he was almost following in MaxPax's footsteps in the online cups, going in with 4-gate Blink after 4-gate Blink after 4-gate Blink. So to see here him execute a Phoenix play and have it be this clean all the way through the beginning, as he has to be careful with that one Phoenix, though barely surviving. I mean, this is so much value. It's like a natural play here for herO, and that's not something I necessarily expected after seeing him up for the Stargate, but it has just been so on point.
Forge and Twilight transition's already on the way as well, so he will be swapping into ground. He's not going to continue too far into Phoenix production. Raven sneaks down the right side, but this is a one-and-done Raven. And we get spotted by the pylon. herO doesn't seem to have noticed it, though, as his Phoenix are actually going in on the aggressive, getting themselves a Marine and a Marauder pickoff. Very nice for him. The Raven's going to go for that auto turret spam in the main base. If it can drop 3, it definitely can overwhelm this. And focusing down the shield battery before getting some more. Single Phoenix, look how quickly it kills that Raven.
Yeah, that Raven goes down in an instant. Third auto turret, a little bit delayed there for Clem as he was wanting for the energy. And oh my goodness, actually the Phoenix going down, if I'm not mistaken. Out of my
that was
glasses off for a moment there, so I didn't quite catch it. But
did I just see that right? Yes. Obviously, these Phoenix being microed here. Big push across the middle. I don't think Clem has the army to really actually get direct damage, but he's doing a good job of scaring herO. And if he just backs off without committing, that'd be great. Fighting would be crazy for Clem right now. You do not want to get caught.
Yeah, there's so many force fields in the bank right now on these sentries, at least 3 available. Clem's going to commit to the fight and then retreat just out of range of the force fields, and he's going to hold the bottom of this ramp, really threading the needle. I mean, he is so close to disaster moving forward against an army like that one before infantry weapons is done against this building Colossus count. And now I think the game going to quiet down a little bit more. Clem back at home, adding in a third base, going to be going for a drop on the right side. herO, actually no, look at this Clem. He's not going to quiet down at all. He's setting his eyes once again on that third base.
Okay, here we go. I love the way Clem attacks when other players would defend, but it could get him in trouble. He's committing so hard in here. Widow Mines do clean the front line as slow Zealots. The Colossus still doing good. The Phoenix in the back picking off all of those Marines in the top right side of the map, getting some good value. And really, I do think Clem's overextending a little bit here. The power of Clem is his ability to attack and scare you and make you worried about going down. But with how good the trades have been from start to finish, herO is getting big momentum. He's got the Templar Archives. Charge is about to kick in. He's going to have Archon Zealot, and I feel like an Archon Zealot Colossus timing might just wipe Clem off the face of the map.
I mean, look at how few Marines we have on the field right now. It's mostly just siege tanks and Marauders because herO has been so clutch at sniping the Marines and the Medivacs, at picking off stray unit after stray unit after stray unit with these 4 Phoenix. I would actually love to see the kill count on some of these Phoenixes. It feels like they have been putting in so much work. 7 kills on this red bad boy. I mean, 7 kills on another one, 4 kills on this one. These Phoenix have gotten basically more value than any 4 or 5 Phoenix you will see in a professional StarCraft II match. And herO is doing it against Clem.
Indeed, he is. Admirably, Clem's worker count has evened out, which is so impressive considering the trading. But his first ghosts are only now entering the fray. His Viking count's still very low. Going after the Colossus here. A very ambitious move out by Clem. herO turns around for a moment, not able to fully commit to the fight. Both sides back away, licking their wounds, letting their units heal up a little bit. Second Forge coming down for herO, so he's got double Forge, 4th base, but he's staying relatively low on workers. He's only at about 70, and with that proxy gate up there as well, it feels like herO is kind of in this middle ground of attacking, macroing, adding upgrades. He's trying to do a bit of everything at once. It feels like a very balanced herO. This is not the herO who gets overeager and just tries to win with a single strategy.
You say that, but I feel like herO is getting ready to ramp up the aggression. He proxied a pylon and a gateway. He's warping in Templar. He is not getting Storm. He's going for Archons. He's trying to add mass to the army that he has on the ground. And I think once +2 ground weapons and +1 armor completes here for herO, in addition to these 3 gateways, we might see herO nearing a max supply, getting ready to try and dismantle Clem, because if he wanted to play the late game, we might see a Fleet Beacon. We might see Storm Research. Instead, it is really just herO powering up for the fight.
Single robo style is very good for getting out Masters at gateway units, and part of it's about draining the EMPs and the stims before the fight really starts. If you can get Clem a bit overstimmed, if you can bait the EMPs out, that's going to be really good. But if they land in the middle of the Archon Zealot, your front line does disappear quite quickly. Army supply is very similar for both sides. herO does take a 5th base on the gold. He's starting to march forward. You pointed out that 2-1 timing. We're nearing it. We're about 30 seconds out from that +1 armor. Is there a warp prism on the map? I'm not quite sure. He's got the gateway, or he had the gateway try to go up earlier, but without a warp prism, it's a little hard to commit to the all-out attack. It does feel to me like Clem's managing to drag this out to the late game. He's getting 2nd starport, 3 more barracks. Clem just needs to survive for a little bit longer, and I think the early advantages of herO will start to wash away.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard to survive with only 1-1 and 2-2 just now begun here for Clem. The upgrades are late, and herO very close to max supply. He is looking for a fight. Clem might give it to him. First disruptor shot is going to miss. And now Clem stimming forward. He's going for the engagement. herO crushing in on the right side. The Zealots are charging forward. The Vikings get the good pickoffs. Most of the Phoenix have fallen now. It's just the Stalkers here for anti-air. And actually, it's herO who's on the run.
Colossus pulling back along with those Archons. The stim's running out, though. There's not many medevacs here in the mix. Only 4 or 5 medevacs. As the 2nd stim comes down, herO happily disengages. If he can get you to do a 3rd stim, that's when you're in trouble. Clem needs to pull back now. Give himself some time to heal up, and a wise pullback for Clem. Historically, Clem's over-aggressiveness is what's bit him in the butt. It's what's really ended a lot of his tournament runs earlier than they should have, but it seems like he also is being very calculated, and 2 of the best aggressive players in the game really showing a lot of respect for each other.
herO once again moving forward. Now with the Stalkers, another warp gate getting warped in on the top side of the map as herO is looking to try and ramp up this aggression. Even Zealots getting added into the mix-up there as potentially that 3rd base could be a target. And herO, you can tell he wants to fight. Once again, blinking forward. Snipes the Marauder. EMP comes in. That's a good money one. Disruptor very far in the front. Will not be able to get a shot off. herO does not carry. Blinks forward. Vikings going down. Those Colossi are going to be uncontested. And licking his wounds. He's going to retreat away after the EMP. Allow his shields to recharge. Or maybe no ping. He's going in again.
A lot of the ghosts went down in that previous engage. A lot of the EMPs got used up as well. So this is absolutely very nice for herO. But remember, the gateway's just come up, so he's got a quick warp in point just up to the right of this army to reinforce. His gold base is also mining, which is why herO now has that double red arrow income advantage on the minerals. He can make a lot of Zealots. He's making 3 more gateways right now. herO continuing to push. Clem on the back foot. Even army supply. But Clem does not have a great answer to this splash damage.
No, and the siege tanks get taken out there by the Stalkers as well as they blink back to reconvene with the rest of the army. And Clem, maybe he wants to pursue right now while those Stalkers have blink on cooldown and try and pick off 1 or 2 more Colossus. One of them will fall, the other one very low. Does get taken out. The Colossi are going to be out of the equation in a moment here.
Good
and the
fighting.
Disruptors, they haven't really gotten the damage done yet, but the gateway count is so high. The Zealots streaming in. herO's going for the jugular, but I think Clem can hold.
Clem, he's got to be very careful, though. That economy is now in range. It does feel like herO's already used up most of his splash damage. Nice focus on the Disruptor. Unable to fire. herO loses all of his Disruptors. He blinks forward. He tries to get revenge with the Zealot Stalker. It's a low-tier Protoss army, but it's starting to shave down Clem's units. His 3rd command center is getting low as well. More Zealots coming in. My gosh, those gateway warp-ins are ridiculous. It's neck and neck in supply. herO trying to overwhelm the 3rd base. It's burning. The orbital goes down, and that is going to be massive. herO now up 2 bases on a gold base with a 20 worker advantage, and he's got more units coming in behind. He's got shields plus 3 armor as well. Beautiful play by herO.
The upgrades coming into this base getting taken out is huge. Oh, he blinks forward again. Maybe potentially an overextension. He's trying to take down some of these medevacs, but the bio ball on the ground is so big here for Clem. He's kiting back, and what a favorable trade. After losing the expansion, yes, 15 workers did go down, but the army supplies, they are equalizing. And this Colossus, a little bit straight coming down here on the south side.
That's on purpose. What are you talking about?
Take it out.
That's a flanking Colossus. It's there on purpose. Hey, get out of here. That was meant to happen. It distracted Clem for a few seconds. Obviously not the greatest. But he gets it. No, the command center gets out.
I thought for sure he was going to be able to trade it there for the CC, and now this Marauder heavy composition once again has to micro away from these Zealots. Of course, they don't take a lot of damage from these Marauders. They can absorb the impact. as another big warp-in comes in. This bio's been stimming so much. It is solo on HP. Look at the energy on these medevacs. There's so many of them, but they're almost entirely depleted.
And that 5th base in the bottom left for Clem is mining now. It's been ignored. A single Zealot, I think, could have denied it. But that being there, yeah, it's actually got a planetary up on it. It really is quite nice. And I feel like herO is in the mindset that Clem's on 3 bases mining when he's actually got the 5th up the bottom as well. Colossus rallying in, more Archons, more Zealots, more Stalkers. Clem has a good medevac count for the constant healing, but he's down on army supply, and that's a scary spot to be with Protoss warping in on your front door. Widow mines clear the front line of Zealots. The Archons do cop a few EMPs, but there's so many shields left over, and herO is absolutely relentless. He's making this army stim itself to death. Clem just cannot keep up this pace, even with such a high medevac count.
Yeah, but the EMP's been so clutch. Once again, a blink forward here from herO, and he's focusing down the bio. There's very little left. Another flanking Colossus coming in to secure the command center kill. herO with the efficient trade there on the Colossus, now chasing down with Zealot and Stalker's actually blinking forward. He's able to get multiple medevacs, almost even the full one there as Clem in full retreat might finally have gotten broken. And yes, herO with a stunning and relentless attack on the 3rd base of Clem finally breaks the French Terran and takes game 1 with a win.
It's not easy, but he shows how to do it there. I love the preparation. The hidden Phoenix build, catching Clem off guard, giving herO an advantage from early on in that game. Despite that, he had to work hard to finish it off, but that's a big defensive map. It's one where Clem really hung on well, but we could see that it was all about herO taking control from the start and the build order going his way. The Phoenix defense was just so good, and yeah, Clem exerted a lot of pressure, but he didn't really scare herO that much. Even though herO sat on 62 probes for a while, he did pick off a lot of Terran units during all these mid-game trades. He had great upgrades coming in behind. The second Forge really paying dividends the longer this game went.
And one of the most important things for herO was, in a lot of these engagements up until the very end, when he would trade, it would almost always be the gateway units going down. Instead of the Colossi, instead of the Immortals, instead of these high-value units, including the Phoenix up until, God, I want to say, halfway through the map, those 4 or 5 Phoenix were still exerting value. And oftentimes the issue for Protoss when they go for these high aggressive plays is that the units they're trading out are units that are hard to replace. They're the units that you require to scale against the Terran to be able to win. If you're stuck with just a pure gateway army, it is nigh impossible to take down your opponent, but herO did such a good job of retaining his critical units, trading out the Zealots, and just the non-stop aggression here. It was almost insane to me watching these fights happen, of course, with the Flaying Colossus, where the Stalkers, in almost any other situation, you would see them just trying to whittle down the medevac count.
Yeah.
But it was very rare. It was almost up until the end that herO decided, no, I don't want to kill the medevacs. I want to just damage the bio and damage the bio and damage the bio, because I'm not trying to end the game right now. I'm not trying to keep the medevac count under control or the medevac energy under control. I'm trying to force Clem to stim non-stop for 5 minutes until he eventually dies, and it worked.
Relentless gateway aggression, wave after wave. And with that single robo style, like you said, you kind of have to trade out the Zealots and Stalkers. If you're losing your robo units and you're on the defensive, you do not have a way to reproduce, but keeping up the momentum and the tempo. And this is what I love watching about 2 aggressive players crash into each other, is who can get the lead on the aggression, who can lead the momentum and choose where the action's going to go. Game 1 went very well for him. Let's see if he can pick the right opening build order for Game 2 as well. Representing Dragon, Kaizi Gaming. And the bottom side of Amphion, it is your red Protoss, herO.
Spawning in the top left, down 1-0 in this series. He needs your support. Let him hear it. It is Team Liquid's Clem. So many fans.
But you know when you've got Nova leading the cheer for you as a Terran player, you're feeling good. It's like, you got Ghost out there cheering for you as well. That is exciting. Dude, this is old school.
Yeah.
This is really old school. We haven't seen a lot of this since about 2020.
Wow. Somewhere in Denmark, Max Pax is smiling.
To be fair, remember the OG Max Pax was your first gateway on the other side of the map,
yeah, this
right?
was the...
I don't know. I'm trying to think who did this a lot back in the day. I guess like Zest. Zest mixed a lot of these ones in.
I know, I did a lot on the ladder.
Stats did a lot. Yeah, we would...
Maybe not in the tournaments, but certainly on the ladder. Yeah, this is a really fun build. Zealot getting produced down. That's back at the home of herO. This second gateway proxied is going to try and pair up with Stalkers.
If he doesn't build a reactor straight away and goes straight for the factory and pauses barracks production, that's really bad for Clem. Oh, Clem's not going to scout this, and he's waiting for the factory, which means he's going to have one Marine to defend a Zealot, multiple Adepts and Stalkers cascading in on this natural. I mean, this should almost certainly be a cancel unless Clem pulls out some heroic micro, because he's going to be building a reactor. He's got no unit production.
I love this selection here. Oh my God, Clem, are you going to see this? Are you going to see it? Okay, he sees.
Ooh.
He sees the gateway. That is a must-need scout, and he's choosing not to cancel yet, Pig. Instead, he's throwing down the bunker, but keep in mind, these units are very low on HP. The Zealot already halfway across the map. The Stalker ready and willing. Here, coming into the natural expansion, it's already popped out of that gateway. Clem's going to need some good control, but that first SCV already badly damaged by the probe. There's only one Marine.
Yeah, if you don't get the Marine in the bunker, that thing is a paperweight. He's canceled his reactor. He's building Marines one at a time right now, but two Marines trying to make a run for the bunker. The Zealot and the Stalker go for the intercept. The Marine is not going to make it inside. Beautiful focus fire by herO, and that bunker can't do anything. SCVs cannot shoot from inside a bunker, and this is a disastrous situation for Clem.
Cyclone is in production, but the Marines are streaming in one at a time, and I don't know if Clem is ever going to be able to save this command center on the low ground. Maybe with some good control on the high ground. Pull the boys, defend with the Cyclone. There is a chance, but herO, he's already in the main base. Those SCVs, they're going down, Pig.
That's a lot of damage. Already losing so much mining time. The command center so exposed out there. Nexus and probing has restarted for herO. This is not a I gotta kill you build. It's a I'm trying to mess you up, and boy has he done that. Clem with the salvage does get 75 minerals back. One Cyclone out. The Adept diving in the main, manages to take out a couple of SCVs, but the Cyclone cleans it up eventually. The problem is, without a second command center up, as Clem, you don't have that economic rebound, and this command center is getting frightfully low.
Command center very low. Cyclone locks in on the Zealot, but the Stalkers, they do win this fight with the Adepts coming in actually to reinforce. Those Marines are not going to be able to escape. The Cyclone also at low HP has to kind of win. The Stalkers, they might take it down. It does go down, and herO once again breaching the main base. There isn't even a full wall off at this stage.
Oh, the command center does actually finish, just barely. Even hides the SCV, pops it out into the command center, and then pops it out on the top. Cyclone continuing to micro its little hard out. More Marines and Cyclones being built one at a time of each of those. Robo starting up for herO behind this. He does get a lot of damage here. He's up 4 workers. Clem, if he manages to stabilize and come back from here, it will be a truly heroic effort. It will be very difficult to pull off, though. The Adept still threatening the Shades into the main. They cancel it. 3 Stalkers, 2 Adepts. He does not have enough to deal with this. Even with 2 Cyclones, you can't really fight this as Clem, but he's got to keep that command center up.
Yeah, the command center must survive, so the SCVs are getting pulled, but those Stalkers, if they can get in range, one more shot will take down that first Cyclone, and the Adepts on the high ground. GG! herO with some incredible aggression, proxying the second gateway, goes for the killing blow right from the start, and boy, does he get it.
Beautiful choice of build order. When it comes to your build order choice, your preparation, herO is devious. He's so clever. We've always talked about if Clem gets into a more standard situation, he's nigh unstoppable. But herO, he's got so many tricks up his sleeve. That proxy gate is so rare in the last few years of StarCraft II, but specifically against this sort of opening where it's Marine into factory, then reactor, oh, it is a massive shutdown. If Clem, scouting it, canceled the command center, pulled back to the high ground, he would have been fine. Completely fine by rebuilding the command center on the high ground. But the moment he committed to that bunker on the natural, that was unfortunately a mistake. There was almost no way he was going to defend that position. Just numbers-wise, with a gateway that close, it was the wrong choice. It's so hard in these tournaments. Your whole life is on the line now, and it's a split-second decision that puts you down 0-2. This is a very difficult spot for Clem.
And from this position here as Clem, I don't really know what you do going up against herO, because this is a guy that has so many different builds that can come for you. He can go proxy Stargate, proxy Robo, proxy Gateway. He can play a straight up macro game. He can go 4-gate Blink if he wants to. He can go for Dark Templar. There are so many tricks that he can pull out.
Yeah.
He only needs to win one map. And so for Clem, you kind of need to be prepared to either play the game your own way, be aggressive and force it, or be ready to absorb the inevitable impact from this guy right here on screen. The Red Protoss spawning in for DKZ Gaming. He's up 2-0. It is herO.
And in the top right side of the map, representing Team Liquid, He has to put all of his energy together, all of his focus. He needs to win 3 games in a row against the best Protoss first Terran player in the world. This is going to be an absolute trial. In the top right side of the map, everybody make some noise for Team Liquid's Clem.
herO just 1 map win away from the playoffs. Clem fighting for his life now. Such a dangerous opponent to be up against, and down 0-2. I mean, I can only imagine what Clem is thinking right now, because there are so many possible ways this game could go. And I like the choice from Clem here in game number 3 to not go for a standard 1-Rax expansion, instead playing double gas, because in a way, if you kind of be aggressive against the aggressive player of herO yourself, you can make the game narrower in terms of scope. You limit the possibilities of your opponent, and through your aggression, you can scout and have a better idea of exactly what you need to do to approach the game and try and find a path to victory. If you try to just absorb the impact 3 games in a row with defensive play, that is so hard to do, even for the best defensive players in the world. So I love this choice from Clem, going for the fast factory, the double gas. I think these are the kind of plays that we need to see at least maybe one more time in this best of 5 if he's able to bring it back.
The best defense is a good offense. That's basically what it's referring to, is if you get on the offense, you know, your opponent doesn't get a chance to get their attack going. And like you said, it gives you scouting. It limits what your opponent can do, lets you be in the driver's seat. It's also good on Ghost River because it's such a short rush distance on this map, and there's some nasty tank pushes you can do off this opening where you've got the early Reaper Hellion sort of aggression, and then bam, tanks, Marines, Stim, get across this map so quickly. herO, though, wisely is going for a robo-first opening. That's going to give him 100% information on what Clem's doing with early observers. He can make immortals if he needs them for safety. And, of course, very commonly, he'll just follow this up with the Twilight. He can still play either Blink, or he'll go for, like, Storm Drop or something like that. This gives herO so many options. I think it's just such a nice way to play this map in particular.
I like the choice here from herO. Playing quite safe, in fact, even going for the shield battery relatively early here against Clem. And what is this? Double Reaper in production here with a Hellion. Clem is going to be looking to try and sync up some damage here, the natural expansion. And I wonder whether herO is going to be throwing down additional gateways, because one way you can deal with this kind of aggression that's a little bit more old school. I mean, I haven't seen it so much in this patch as I was in previous patches, especially towards the end of last year, is that you just have a wall blocked in, and yeah, you have grenades, but you build a pylon behind the wall in, you have 2 gateways, maybe even add in a 3rd gateway, you cancel it when the aggression's done. You can play safe, but if this catches herO off guard, it could be a lot of probes going down.
I don't think there's a battery in the main. Just one Adept, 3 Reapers going to try and jump past. Great micro, though. Look at how quick herO was to react. The Adept's already pulling out of there. Already got 3 hits off on those Reapers. Yes, the Adept goes down. The Stalker's doing damage to the Hellions as well. You need a fair bit of damage here as Clem. Just 3 probes isn't going to cut it, but he's not done just yet. 4 probes going down. The Reapers trying to find more. herO, he's going to lose about 6 probes. Looks like it'll be 7 at the end of the tally, but it's a lot of Reaper Hellion to go down. I would say this is good damage for Clem, but it doesn't necessarily put him ahead. Like, look at his production. His own orbital's just coming up now, but it's a good enough start to at least put him in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I think 7 probes is good damage here for Clem. In my experience, usually about 6 is maybe break even, where Protoss, especially if they go for Blink, have a lot of aggressive potential.
Yeah.
But the fact that herO went for the Robo, in this case, is kind of biting him in the butt a little bit, because he doesn't have that explosive counterattack potential. These 2 Stalkers are going to get 1 SCV and delay this bunker a little. But Clem coming across into the main base of herO in just a moment with siege tanks and Marines is going to be so scary, Pig. This is not the kind of drop you expect. Oh, the Cyclone, of course, excuse me.
Your battery got cancelled, remember. He wanted to spend money rebuilding probes after the earlier push, which means there's no battery in the main base. That being said, focusing the medevac down. The Marines and Cyclones trying to take out as many probes as they can. He gets another 6 probes. This is such a weird situation now, because Clem has sacrificed so much army, but 2 big waves of probe damage. If herO can't do a counterattack like you were talking about, which he doesn't have a very mobile force for that, he's just got a few Stalkers and an Immortal, he's going to be behind an income. He doesn't have a 3rd Nexus to bounce back. Clem can afford to play very defensively now because he's got the economic lead.
War Prism is in production because herO knows he has a small window to get some counter damage done and try and equalize. Otherwise, Clem is just going to shrug off losing all of these early units, because he got 12, maybe 13 probes in total there.
Oh, wow.
But of course, with this aggression, man, even getting the Observer, the Viking does get... No, it's not even a sacrifice. The high ground vision saves it.
Yeah, that vision break, you could tell the Stalkers were just starting their attack animation. They didn't get to complete it. This is such a nice setup. I feel like Clem is just so in tune with the situation that he's in now. Now that he's the one being aggressive, you see him being like, yeah, I'll build a bunker in the main and a bunker in the natural. I'll build a bunch of tanks. He's playing very safe after establishing a lead. The Liberator probably don't want to commit too hard with this, but already just denying a bit of mining, picking off a probe or two on the gas. This is great. It really keeps you in the information field as well ahead of herO, because you're, hey, that's a quick forecast. What are you doing with that? I already killed a lot of probes. And you start to realize, okay, there's a good chance of these robo openings that it's going to be High Templar, it's going to be Psy Storm drop. And against that, you just got to be really careful to not get ambushed.
Some nice micro here by herO. Clem trying to focus down the probes, does get 3 in total. I love herO with the Warrior Prism waiting for that Liberator to siege up just to guarantee the kill. Very smart move. And he is not going to be taking the third base, I think.
Yeah.
Look at this. 5 more gateways in production. Storm halfway done, +1 armor. herO is going to be going for a ton of charge zealots. He already has, I think, at least 2 Templar on the map with very high energy. And look at the army from Clem. He's moving out.
This is a crazy move out timing for Clem. It seems like he thinks there's a third base. He's giving him an opportunity for herO. If herO can get this army with Storm, with charge zealots, it's a massive moment for him. Clem should be at home defending.
Yeah, this could potentially lose the game here for Clem if he's caught unprepared. He's sieging up right now, expecting there to be a third base. There isn't one just yet. Storm's about to finish. Those are Marines still without combat shields. Clem only just now realizes there's no thirds. Now he realizes the severity of the situation. Stalker's in, the Immortal's coming in, focusing down. The Storm's raining from above, and Clem gets swept off his feet. herO with a huge win.
Massive move there for herO. It looked like he was falling way behind in this game, but Clem, he went from ultra defensive, careful play to getting a bit over-eager with the aggression. He felt like herO was playing a 3-base macro build. He pushed into what he imagined was a third base filled with probes, and it simply did not exist. Another Storm landing on the Marauders. The SCVs are ready to repair, but a Storm on the repairing SCV is going to be very powerful. Clem's bunker is going to go down, I think, but the bunkers with the mass repair hanging on. And the Prism dies to the Viking as well. Massive hold for Clem. herO getting a bit overeager.
The Prism died with multiple Templars still in it, and the Marauder is able to focus one down. And what could have been a potentially game-ending move by herO. Clem with an incredible defense, sniping the Warp Prism.
herO has a big grin on his face.
Yeah, he's like, I bungled this.
He's like, oh, that was silly, whoops. That is what makes herO a special player. A lot of players get stressed when they, a fight doesn't go their way. herO cracks a smile, a grin, often laughs and goes, oh, whoops, that was the silly. I guess I'll just keep playing the game. He never gets tilted. That's part of his power. Prism does get focused. Nice move for Clem. That was actually really slick.
herO was trying to be a little bit too fancy there and lift the probes that were getting targeted by the Widow Mines, but Clem instead able to focus down the Warp Prism, and suddenly the momentum is shifted yet again. I genuinely felt after that push got thwarted outside of herO's non-existent third base, the game was nearly over. herO just needed to go in with the execution move on the other side of the map, but the Warp Prism going down to the last volley of the Viking, the bunker barely surviving with the mass repair, the Marauders moving forward and getting the last High Templar after the rest of them died in the Prism.
Yeah.
Such a swing of momentum. I mean, 2 back-to-back, one on herO's side of the map, one on Clem's. And now herO, once again, he's locked and loaded. He is recharged and ready to go for round 2.
That's a scary army. Honestly, I think this might be able to break this third. Clem does not have a lot of units right now. It's a handful of Marine Marauder. The Widow Mines are getting value, though. But watch out for those Storms. High Templar storming the SCVs and the Marauders. Another big Widow Mine in the Zealots, but hits the Marauders as well. Big warp in the Stalker Zealots as the rally comes in from the natural. Immortals are going down. Nice hot pickups for herO.
Yeah, the micro with the Warp Prism, very good as the Liberator siege down and the natural expansion is going to try and stem the tide here for Clem. herO, does he care? No, he doesn't. He's pushing forward. Another Liberator sieging up as the first one goes down. These Archons are going to retreat. No, the Widow Mine coming in from the top left side. Did not go for the drop of the main base. Another clutch Storm for herO, but look at the supplies. Still very even pick. 42 army supply to 47 right now. More Archons getting morphed in. That tells me that right now herO, he does not want to bide his time. He wants to go for the throat.
But Clem, as long as he spreads his units out, he got Widow Mines, he's got Libs, it does feel like it's hard to win this. As herO, it's pure Archon with a few Zealots. The Bio's pulling back. The Widow Mines are doing great damage. Sentries and Zealots are getting cleansed. The Stalkers die very quickly as well. Clem's got to be careful of those Archon shots, though. Those Archon shots do so much damage when they land. but the Widow Mines, the non-stop mine production really is the lifeline of Clem, and it's keeping him up. He's way up in supply right now. herO's been probing a little behind this, but he doesn't have Robo Bay tech. He doesn't really have a huge amount of progression, and it's so scary because the moment you stop attacking, Clem's going to pounce across that map with Stim Bio, with Multi-Prong. He's got Ghosts now as well, State.
Double Oricon drop now coming into the natural expansion. herO trying to find value any way he possibly can. Does get a couple of SCVs, delays that barracks from going up. But the high-tech army Clem is building at this stage in the game, adding in Widow Mines, adding in Liberators, adding in Ghosts, is going to be so hard for herO to deal with. Nice micro with the Warp Prism, diffusing that Widow Mine. The herO, he's going in again, but I feel like at this point, Clem might just be a little bit too strong. It's all going to come down to these storms, Big.
Here we go. Storms landing on the army. The Bio pulling back. Liberator is sieging up on herO's third right now. herO, he's baiting the army into storms. Force field's going down as well. A lot of big Archon hits. herO does not realize that Liberator's killing every probe on his third, but it doesn't matter if he can wipe out Clem on this side of the map. But that's a big if. The Bio micro is good. The SCVs tank a little bit. Storm drops come in yet again, but Clem saves a lot of the Marauders, lifts them back to the high ground, and herO has lost 18 probes behind this.
A lot of economic damage traded here, and with the reinforcements coming in for Clem, I think he might have just enough to stop this push from breaching. SCV's frantically repairing that CC on the front line. The Bio is so low on HP. Widow Mine, the Warp Prism goes down. No more reinforcements here for herO, and this natural expansion is unbreachable with the Widow Mines, with the bunkers, with the Liberator in siege. herO's gonna have to retreat again, rebuild that Warp Prism again. And from this position, it's very hard to play for herO. You only have 35 probes. Yes, you do have a third base, but I don't know how many more fights like this he has in him with Clem. Building these Ghosts, building these Liberators. The Widow Mine count is getting so high. If Clem can safely secure his third base and lock it down on defense, I feel like he has this game in the bag. herO has to stop it, but can he with the tools he has?
Looks like he's out of gas, doesn't it? It really does look like he's running out of steam here. herO, he's making some more units, but he's on 35 probes, a few Archons, a few High Templar. Storm drop is good, but my gosh, EMP landing on the Prism. That Prism is so low. Storms are doing great damage. Clem's still very clumped with the dangerous storms nearby. Oh my lord, another big storm lands on those Marauders. Clem's still up on army supply. As long as he lifts the command center and pulls back, though, there is no economic threat from herO. That's the problem. herO is so all in here.
herO has been mining no gas for the last couple of minutes. Every reinforcement is going to be minerals right here as the Zealots now streaming into the natural expansion. herO might have just been able to muscle out enough gateway units to break Clem. Clem now trying to hold the natural base ramp. SCV's tagging alongside these medevacs. Hold position micro. It's so hard for the Zealots to get any damage, but that's all herO can reinforce with. There is no gas income whatsoever.
Those Widow Mine hits are so big. Every time they land on the Zealots, they just do so much bang for buck. But so many Zealots keep warping in. Clem's now down in army supply. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe that with this economy, after losing every probe on his third base to a Liberator, it looks like herO might just barely be able to overwhelm Clem. Clem's mining is almost non-existent. He's mined out his main. His natural's almost gone. Clem has no money left. Oh my lord. herO might not be mining gas, but look at that. He's got 3 red arrows on the mineral income advantage, and Clem cannot make any more units. Clem is now down 10 army supply. herO has actually managed to do it. From what looked like a position where Clem had held on, he just keeps on going and going and battering down, and eventually Clem's walls fall down.
The Zealots stream into the main base. GG is called, and fist bumps from herO. As with the killer instinct, he is able to secure the 3-0 win.